This video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. So you know how there's that smaller-ish YouTuber, I think his name is Jerry Riggs Everything or something like that? You know how he does durability tests for phones? Well, nobody does that for game consoles, and it's about time someone does. So this is the PS4 Original Durability Test. The purpose of this video is to put this PS4 Original through some semi-realistic durability test to see how durable it really is. If you like this type of video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below, because there's lots more game consoles I can test, and with the Xbox X Series and PS5 coming out, I would love to see how those stack up against the PS4 and Xbox One models. So if you want to see those videos, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video so I know to make more. Let's do this. So the first test I'm going to do on the PS4 Original is an overheating test, and I'm going to use the sandwich bag out of my lunch to put around the entire PS4 except for where the cables come out in the back, and that should restrict almost all the air going into and out of the console. And then I'm going to time it and see how long it takes for the PS4 to overheat. So there's only this little tiny bit of a hole here where the cords go through, so almost all of the air is being restricted from entering and exiting this PS4. Now let's see how long it takes for it to overheat. And here we go, turning the PS4 on. Now I'm just gonna keep this PS4 in the dashboard just so then I can recreate this test with other consoles and leave those in the dashboard as well, so we can get kind of a baseline across all consoles, and that way the test is totally fair. And we just passed the 5-minute mark. The fans have not ramped up at all. The air in the bag is definitely warm. The console is definitely warm, but so far the fans have not ramped up at all. 12 minutes, 42 seconds. The fans just keep ramping up slowly over time, and they are starting to get pretty loud. I'm expecting before too long it's probably gonna overheat. 17 minutes, 30 seconds. It should be any second now. "20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I'm ready for this thing to overheat, so I'm gonna start up a very intense game and then see how long it takes. And 21 minutes, 16 seconds is where we get the overheating message. So the PS4 Original lasted 21 minutes and 16 seconds, which I think is actually very impressive, because other than this little tiny area right here where the air might get in through where the cords are, there's literally zero ventilation. Now I'm gonna move on to the power off test. I'm gonna start up that same game, and during the middle of playing the game, I'm gonna pull the power cord, then we'll start it back up and see what it does. Okay, we're right in the middle of this cinematic, so I'm gonna pull the power cord, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, obviously it turned off. I'm gonna plug it back in and then see what errors it gives us and see if it starts up normally. And here we go, we get the same error. The PS4 was not turned off properly. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started all the way up and just make sure everything works. And everything seems to be working perfectly normally. Now it's time to test the disk drive. So the real world scenarios I'm gonna try with this disk drive is to put in one clean disk, put in a scratch disk, and put in one with lots of fingerprints. And then I'm also gonna try putting 2 disks in and see if I can get them back out. So let's start with the minimally scratched disk, see what it does. And the disk drive is working totally normally. The game starts up just like it should. Now let's try the scratch disk. This disk isn't the worst I've seen, but it definitely is a pretty scratched disk. And it looks like it's actually reading the scratched disk. That's pretty impressive. That's a pretty scratched disk. Now let's try the disk with all the fingerprints. And it's reading that disk no problem, so now it's time to put 2 disks in the disk drive, see if it'll take them in, and see if we can get them out. Okay, and we have 2 disks. Let's get them in there. It takes them in. It actually even spins up with 2 discs in, but can we get them back out? And here we go. We got 2 discs back out of the disk drive. I guess it's time to try 3. Here we have 3 discs. And that I can't even get it. I can't even get them into the disk drive at all. So 3 discs is definitely too many, but it actually will put in 2 discs and spit 2 back out. Now it's time for the drop testing. So here I am all set up for the drop test, and yes, I drop test PS4s in my basement. Why? What do you do in your basement? I'm gonna do several drop tests on this PS4 original. The first one is going to be a drop test from the table down to the floor, and then I will turn it around and push it off the table backwards so it will hit the ground with the cables facing downward. This table is almost 17.5 inches off the floor, and it is a carpeted floor. As you can see, it does have very nice orange carpet. Then after those tests are done, I'm gonna have the PS4 on the floor and drop some heavy objects onto the PS4, and the last test is a test where I'm actually gonna step on the PS4 and we'll see if it stays on and stays running. Now let's get to those tests. Here we go. And as you can see, no problem so far. Now I'm gonna turn it around and do it the other way. And here we go the other way. And still no problems at all. So it passed those tests just fine. Now I'm gonna leave it down on the ground with it plugged in and on and try dropping some weights onto the top of the PS4. I have a 3-pound weight and a 5-pound weight, and I will drop these from the 17.5 inch table height. 17.5, and here we go. No problem so far. Now let's try the 5-pound. And the 5-pound weight flat onto the PS4 in 3, 2, 1. Woo! That turned it off. I'm gonna see if it's gonna turn back on. Okay, and it is turning on. So it's gotta turn all the way on. The next test I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna step on it for 5 seconds with all my body weight and see what it does. I currently weigh 155 pounds or 70 kilograms. And in 3, 2, 1, start. Oh, there we go. It turned right off. Let's wait for the full 5 seconds, and there we go. But will it turn back on? Good so far, starting up normally. So after 3 pounds, after 5 pounds, and then after 155 pounds on the top of this PS4 original, it's all working perfectly fine. Now back to the studio so we can check for damage and do the scratchability test. So before I start checking for damage and doing the scratch test, I do want to say that this is my first durability test on a game console, so leave any questions, comments, or ideas down in the comment section below. What test did I forget? That is essential. Now, let's move on to the scratch test. So for the scratch test, I've got various devices here, and I'm gonna check and see which one scratches this the most and which scratches the least. I've got a pair of my tweezers, a pocket knife, a plastic spudger, some keys, and my carbon fiber Ridge wallet. Speaking of the Ridge wallet, this video is brought to you by the Ridge wallet. It's light, sleek, and industrial. It doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge in your back pocket. It's actually designed to fit easily in your front pocket, and it's seriously changed my whole pocket situation. Most people are still carrying around wallets designed in the 90s, carrying around old gift cards and receipts, but the Ridge wallet can change all of that. I really love it, but don't take my word for it. There's over 30,000 5-star reviews. As you guys know on this channel, I love to take things apart. One of my favorite things about this Ridge wallet is I can actually take it apart. It actually even comes with extra screws right in the box. I can remove this money clip if I'd like to, or I can add another money clip on the front of the wallet as well. Another thing I love is that the Ridge wallet is made with RFID blocking technology that protects me from digital pocket pickers. That's not something I had to think about back when I bought my first wallet, but it's certainly something I have to think about now. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/TronicsFix. That's ridge.com/TronicsFix and use the code TronicsFix at checkout. The top link in the description will take you right there. So let's just start with this plastic spudger. As I said, this is not a brand new PS4. I will definitely be using brand new consoles when the new ones come out, but I'm just gonna try and give this a few scratches just with my plastic spudger. Definitely leaves some marks there. That looks like they will mostly come out. No marks on the shiny part. Let's try it with the edge of a pocket knife. Definitely a lot of scratches on the shiny surface as well as the textured surface. And with this pair of tweezers, these metal tweezers scratch it very easily as well. Let's try the dull side of some keys. We definitely have some easy scratching there as this is just plastic. Now let's try the carbon fiber of my carbon fiber Ridge wallet. And that also definitely leaves some permanent marks. So I would say the PS4 original scratches at a level 6 with deeper grooves at a level 7. Okay, I'm just kidding. But given that this is just a plastic case, this is about what I expected. Now I'm gonna take off the top cover and just inspect for damage from the drop test. Okay, and looking at the top, I actually see no damage at all. There is no bending and there is nothing broken on the inside. I'm gonna give the PS4 original a durability score of 8. While this is the first durability test on a game console that I've done, I feel like this is a good, solid game console and it went through some pretty serious tests. Like I said, be sure to let me know if you like this video by liking, commenting, and subscribing, and let me know what tests I left out. Thank you for watching, thank you to the Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video, and I hope you have a good one.